After Devil May Cry 2's less than favorable reception, the new franchise's reputation was in the gutter at the time. The future for the series was bleak, even Capcom was losing hope in DMC. But Itsuno begged Capcom for another crack at Devil May Cry with the soaring
motivation
to redeem his name as a game director. So he crafted the greatest video game bestowed upon the human race, Devil May Cry 3. Hello, it's the Devil Joe, back again with a brand new video, and today I'll be covering the legendary Devil May Cry 3, a 2005 game that came out with the freshness of a 2023 game, with buttery smooth combat, and a storyline that slaps too damn hard, making it a timeless classic that hasn't shown its age yet. So on its 19th anniversary, I'll be looking at 5 things it did right and 5 things it did wrong. Without further ado, let's get this party started. First thing this game got right are them sweet-ass PS2 visuals. Back in 2005, a lot of PS2 games had the brown filter in some capacity. Didn't matter if it was a racing game, shooter, or action-adventure game. Devil May Cry 3 was no different. Despite the game following that trend, it managed to make these visuals their own, as a part of its own identity, by leaning into the gothic atmosphere that DMC1 had to give DMC3 a gritty, stylized look. The early missions take place in urban areas, starting from Dante's unnamed shop all the way to the bar strip club in Dante's neighborhood, looking all grimy, like some of the places found in a 90s OVA anime. Once you step inside of the Timony Gru, you'll find some of the most mesmerizing and at times trippy gothic architecture that has ever been seen in the series. I know it's not as creepy or surreal as DMC1's missions, but come on man, some of these landscapes are breathtaking as fuck. My dude, some of the environments are pretty diverse. You got the clock tower looking places, ancient demonic locales, to trippy magic activated areas, to the top of the tower at nighttime. Shit is iconic. Hell itself has a lot of surreal Lovecraftian locations. The stones forming as a bridge as you walk towards the portal, boss rush stairway in Mission 18. That shit is trippy as hell. On top of that, cemetery with blood rivers, along with Virgil's Mission 20 battle arena, making hell look like a surreal place you don't want to end up in. DMC3 has some of the best character models ever rendered in the PS2 era. Dante and Virgil's character models are sexfully crafted. Can't believe I actually said that. Who wrote this shit? Oh, right. My dumbass! The Sparta Boys look spectacular in both gameplay and cutscene. PS2 abs paired with them luscious white locks and late teen facial structure is visually pleasing to the eye on both of them. I like how their facial expressions move in cutscenes. Feels pretty damn natural. In motion, pausing the frames can make for grade A meme material. Even the clothing on the characters flow nicely. On the actual twins that make the same character model feel like two completely different ones. In game they are both magnificent to look at. The fire and devil arms are immaculately detailed. Some of them look like weapons you can actually hold in your hands. They've done a bang-up job on Lady. She looks exceptionally young and vengeful. Most of the game she's all business. Arkham in both forms is masterfully crafted. He looks pretty damn menacing in his priest getup. The monotone facial expression and that shifting PS2 texture on his face adds to the horror factor of this one dude. His jester form is pretty much a demonic troll face, designed specifically to piss Dante off, reminding me of Batman's Joker. Overall, graphically, DMC3 is still a stunning looking video game. It even looks 10 times better than GTA 5. Fight me on that one. The second thing DMC3 did right is that juicy ass combat. We all remember Devil May Cry 2's combat, right? Overpowered guns, sword strikes that feel like you're using a plastic baseball bat to whack brain-dead demons. Seriously, most of the time the AI was a bag of air. You had them staring at their buddies being beaten on. You'd think that Devil May Cry 3 threw everything that DMC2 did right out of the gate. That's where you're wrong. DMC3 is a game that takes everything great about DMC1 and doubles down on it. The DMC2 concepts like air dodge, air melee attacks, gun tricks, wall running have all been improved upon. Like in DMC1, the enemy AI is active at an all-time high, once again being out for your blood, bringing back the feeling of adrenaline pumping encounters, keeping you on your toes at all times. Cutting up demons using the rebellion feels weighty in a way that slaps, handing your attacks a deep crunch, like you're swinging a large claymore, as it should. Shooting Ebony and Ivory on its own is a ton of fun. Somehow it feels better than DMC2. Rebellion has a good amount of moves. A and B combos, Stinger, Drive, not to mention the greatest unlockable weapons the series has seen in my opinion. Accompanied by the best progression system in any third-person action game like ever. The devil arms are comically insane and diverse. Ice chucks that are ridiculously fun to use. it might as well turn you into Bruce Lee. There's Agni and Rudra, twin fire and wind swords, coming in with heavy slashing attacks, along with rapid slashes. The damn thing is such a joy to use. Check this out, one of the tools you get to slay demonic asses is an electrically powered guitar, using AoEs controlling all swarms of enemies around you. Let's not forget about the kick-ass light gauntlets, packing in heavy charge-up attacks, rapid fire strikes, and a laundry list of shoryukens. It has the tornado too. Firearms are plentiful in this entry, ranging from the trusty boomstick for powerful buckshots, causing splash damage, alongside the Artemis hand cannon, shooting out a ton of projectiles at multiple devils or on one target, for stall points and so much more. Dante picks up a sniper rifle, firing off armor-piercing rounds, ricocheting off the wall, dealing fuck-off damage to demons and bosses. To the fucking Kalina Ant to scatter all them hordes away, hooking enemies towards you to combo them up. All of these wonderful toys are unlocked after fighting each boss by the Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man, taking their soul, manifesting it into the devil arm, using the actual boss power that was being used against you to style on every single devil that gets in your way, fighting in the most creative way that you can. Sure, the 2 weapons at a time might be limiting. On the other hand, it helps in learning the ins and outs of all the weapons selected at the statue. It could have been nice to have everything available, however the PS2 tech didn't really allow for it, or it would explode trying to handle this crazy ass game that has near endless possibilities. But hey, I'm actually cool with it here. Firearms are 2 at a time equipable, so it doesn't overwhelm you as much. Guns can be unlocked by going through specific areas of a mission. Want to pick up Artemis? Finish all the Mission 6 trials. Progression in this entry is truly the best it has ever been, because unlike the later games, where you unlock all of Dante's toolkit in the span of a couple of missions, you gotta make it through an entire playthrough to get all the gear. Buying every single move takes up multiple playthroughs, alongside countless hours grinding out Bloody Palace. This sort of progression feels as natural as it gets, starting out only with the sword and twin pistols, gradually getting more weapons as you go along, becoming more powerful as you go through the journey, till you reach your final Ultra Instinct level. DMC3 is a game filled to the brim with hidden mechanics to chain moves together, through stuff like buffering, inputting moves during an animation before they happen, to keep combos flowing, jump cancelling to stay airborne, switch cancelling out recovery frames. If I go on, the video will take forever. DMC3 gives you full freedom to play however you want. You want to style on everybody? Go for it. You want to just get through? You can do that too. Either way, if you're a pro or a scrub, you'll be having a crap ton of fun with this system, fighting off lesser demons and bosses. Third thing this title got right is the fighting styles. Devil May Cry 3 took the little added abilities that DMC2 had and fully expanded it into the styles. Different abilities added to Dante's moveset. You got the Trickster style, getting Dante to dash away from incoming attacks, teleporting back to the demons stylishly. Wall flipping all over the place, looking cool as fuck. A sweet ass Mega Man dash with a few invincibility frames. Next up is Swordmaster, the style that gives you extra melee options, allowing you to slash enemies in the air, unlocking each Devil Arm's full moveset, racking up more style points, looking way better, overpowering all the devilish adversaries. Enter Gunslinger, the one style that allows Dante to bust out them gun kata strats, shooting in different directions. Charge shots, nunchucking the shotgun, shooting homing missiles at one target, acid rains, bouncing an armor-piercing bullet across the walls. Basically the gun tricks from 2, but better. Then we come to the infamous Royal Guard, the Giga Chat style, getting the Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man to block attacks. Either a standard one that'll chip damage him, or a Royal Block knocking a few enemies back for a few free hits, racking off hella stall points from that Royal Parry. Let's not forget them sweet counterattacks. Using it normally with Rage does a shit ton of damage, but doesn't feel nearly as satisfying as a Just Release, where Dante dashes into the enemy taking his entire HP along with him. Time it using a Devil Trigger Burst, then BOOM! They have already been desecrated. The style is insanely difficult to get the hang of. One misstep, your guard will break, leaving you open for more punishment. Take a couple of get good pills, you'll overpower the entirety of DMC3. This entry has 2 more styles on offer, Quicksilver and Doppelganger. One slowing down time till crawl, inputting moves that you otherwise couldn't, while moving faster than most devils. Pretty much it's... Can't forget about Dante's... summoning a shadow clone, fighting alongside him for more inventive ways to kick demon ass, doubling the damage output. The great thing about the styles are the added movesets to the fire and devil arms, while giving Dante more tricks without overcrowding the controller, keeping everything nice, simple, and smooth. Unfortunately, the styles aren't on-the-fly switchable. If it was, then the PS2 would have had an aneurysm and crash. There's a limit to how much it can handle. You can have all the weapons available to you, along with on-the-fly style switching, as long as you get any of the PC versions, add these mods in, or get the Switch version. It would be nice if Capcom would have added the patch to the recent HD collections for freestyle mode in DMC3. A good thing is that level ups take up an entire playthrough, rewarding the player on getting good, without having to drop any orbs on style levels. The fourth thing DMC3 got right are them boss fights. What can I say, man? These bosses are a blast to go up against. Starting off with the Ice Doggy Cerberus. The pooch stands in place most of the time. On the other hand, he'll end up throwing icicles that'll really do you in, hurling ice your way, ramming that ass, biting you off once you get too close. The pup forces you to change up your strategies and tactics to beat him. Next up is Agni and Rudra, a 2-on-1 fight that manages to be a fair fight. Both of the bros are well coordinated, taking you on as a team, one by one or all at once. You can fall to these guys or use it to your advantage. You might as well use Royal Guard to destroy them. Regardless of how you fight them, they're a joy to battle. Enter the Melfi Succubus Nevin throwing AoE projectiles at the wacky woohoo pizza man that are fun to dodge. Then we have Beowulf, the aggressor. The dude rushes at you violently. A lot of his attacks are AoEs or hard-hitting strikes. The dude wants you dead at all costs. One thing these guys have in common is how much of a fun spectacle they end up providing, through their unique personalities, shown through the banter cutscenes, when Dante's roasting their asses, and their reactions to it. The best roast is the Beowulf cutscene in my opinion. Dante was mopping the floor with his dignity. These personality traits are shown in the actual boss fight that keep you on your toes, encouraging you to try out different strats. One boss I want to give a huge shout out to is Virgil. All three of the boss fights. In DMC3 you fight Motivation Man thrice, mainly Mission 7 at the end of Act 1, Mission 13 the end of Act 2, Mission 20 the final crescendo. The main thing you should know about Virgil is the guy fights with honor. The guy doesn't play dirty at all. He knows that you have no DT. In that regard, he'd be like, aight, no DT, no summon swords, I'll just go easy on you, Dante. Yamato and Judgment cuts only. With that moveset alone, he's more than capable of knocking your wacky woohoo pizza ass into the pavement, no problem. In turn, you, the player, have to be motivated enough to keep up with Virgil's pattern, if you want to stand a chance of beating him. Once you beat him, Virgil gets the last laugh, beating Dante in a humiliating fashion, leaving him in a pool of his own blood. DT's unlocked to use it a bit, upgraded your toolkit, and picked up a few tricks. Time to see what you've learned so far. If anything, against the guy who stabbed you, called you a fool, left you in a pool of your own uncensored anime cum. And the man is willing to test his brand new devil arm he got from the boss that you didn't kill, making you feel like a failed protagonist, rubbing it in your face. The fight starts. Virgil immediately busts out the MMA gear, wanting to test it out against you, teleporting all over the place like his Nightcrawler and shit. While you're happy with Devil Trigger, his primary instinct is to show off his more powerful one. It heals him too. At times he throws summon swords at you. He likes to make sure that you're incapable of denting his HP. But notice how easy it is to run away from the Beowulf attacks, and punish him for it. It's by design actually. Itsuno wants you to reach the point where he decides to ditch the gauntlets. Switching back to the Yamato, Virgil is furious at this point, wanting to end you as soon as can be. Make sure that you're good enough to exploit any of his mishaps, to punish the living crap out of him. That fight ends in a draw. Both of the Sparta boys were tired out. This clown priest man knew it. Battle 3 is the final test of everything that you've learned throughout the game. Virgil ain't playing around. The dude throws everything at you in pursuit of power, using the Force Edge giving him moves similar to yours, punishing you hard like a motherfucker if you get caught in his attacks. You better know when and what to dodge, to go in for the temporary free hits. One common theme that makes Virgil ridiculously fun and memorable is the fact that you're going up against somebody your own size, matching your moveset beat by beat, giving Dante a run for his money. It's impossible to get tired of fighting him. All three boss encounters feel like you're going into a different boss, despite him being the same one. So yeah, DMC3 has a pretty solid boss lineup that's pretty unforgettable. Fifth thing this game got right is the plot. Now we all know how Devil May Cry 2 handled Dante's characterization, stripping him away of everything that made him a lovable character in DMC1. He was a silent edgelord in 2. DMC3 ages him down as an 18-year-old, meaning he's back to roasting all them goofy-ass demons standing in his way, with charisma surpassing DMC1 Dante, before kicking the crap out of him, spewing zingers that land every time, getting the player to laugh their asses off, getting hyped up alongside Dante. He's now the definition of cool, or anything that describes being a badass. With a catch. We're not talking about suave DMC 4-5 Dante. We're talking about dumbass teenage Dante. Many attempts of doing cool shit go wrong, fucking up badly, wrecking his own shop, fighting him demons, blaming it on the intruders. The jacket routine doesn't go as planned, not taking allergies into account. After testing his new powers, he gets swallowed up by a giant floating whale. Nice touch, might I add. Because let's face it, teenagers can be retarded at times. With all what I said about Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man, you'd think they'd throw DMC2 Dante right out of the window. But that's where you're wrong. He was reworked. Replace the red coat with a blue one, spike 2 Dante's hair, take the claymore away, hand him a katana, strip him of firearms and make him a gun hater. The result is Virgil, the perfect rival, the anti-Dante. Motivation Man speaks very few words. No jokes cracked, only skulls. Using an efficiency-focused fighting style, over flares the last thing on his mind. He prefers to have them demons dead once the Yamato's unsheathed. His primary motivation being
power of Sparta.
Due to the inferiority complex. Their sibling rivalry is pretty captivating to watch. It's the differences in ideology. I'll get to that later. Like the last 2 DMC games, there's the DMC girl Lady, a vengeful devil hunter hating all demons including the Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man. The relationship is kind of antagonistic, wanting nothing but revenge from her old man Arkham, a creepy human who also wants the powers of Sparta, manipulating everyone to get his hands on it. An underrated DMC villain in my book. The plot is ridiculously simple. Virgil summons Large Tower, opening up the gates of hell, for the sake of snagging the Devil Sword Sparta. Then Dante waltzes in, to stop the carnage from ensuing. The execution is what makes the whole story work. Devil May Cry 3 is a character-focused game. Each character has a starting motivation at the beginning of the tale that changes by the end of the story. Dante walks into the Temini Gru wanting to settle a beef with Virgil. He had a year ago come back to a fresh hot pizza. Other than that, he couldn't give 2 shits about anything or anybody else. Toying with Lady even at her lowest moments, till having a change of heart. Learning what it means to be human from Lady, and to some extent Virgil. Lady starts off as an irrational demon hater, wanting all demons dead, both Sparta boys included, feeling like she's solely responsible for Arkham shit. Later on she learns to trust Dante, knowing that he's human enough to grasp the situation, while having enough demonic power to stop Arkham physically. These 2 wind up maturing and progressing throughout the narrative. Can't say much for the other 2. Virgil is presented to be cold, calm, and collected. The mature older brother. Underneath that exterior, he's as much of a hot-headed kid as Dante is. Virgie might be really good at hiding it. On the other hand, Motivation Man becomes more irrational because of what's motivating him. The pursuit of
More power.
becoming his own downfall. Arkham is somehow a darker mirror of Virgil. A man willing to do anything for power. Killing off close family members to achieve godly levels of might. Manipulating 2 rivals. And his own daughter, going for the attempted murder on the one who's supposed to be everything to him, his own flesh and blood, only to seep further into madness. Getting absolutely wrecked by 2 reckless teenagers, to get shot in the head by the same daughter who he tried to kill. The plot has way more details and nuances than what I'm letting on. In short, Devil May Cry 3 has an immaculately told storyline. You'll never forget it in a million years, no matter how many whole bottles of vodka you pour down your throat. Now that we got the aspects that made Devil May Cry 3 a timeless masterpiece, we get to the 5 things it did wrong, aka a few nitpicks. The first thing it got completely wrong are the enemy types. The demons in Devil May Cry 3 are split up into a few categories, the best enemies being the Reaper types. Prides, lusts, sloth. These guys are a ton of fun to fight, practicing all your combos on them. The most balanced Reaper are the ones with the blood on them. Then you got the chess pieces for jump cancel practice, but only these guys spewing lasers are kinda pointless. I'm not gonna lie, the Hell Vanguard mini-boss is fun to fight. I had a blast fighting these things. Here comes the spiders, a pain in the ass to fight off at first. If you learn their patterns, then you can style on them with your heart's content. But oh lord, kicking off the list of the stinkers, we got the Enigmas. These snipers are a pain in the dick to fight. They keep on shooting arrows at you, then they run away messing up your combos. Speaking of which, we're talking about a game that prioritizes playing as creatively as you can. May I ask, what the fuck is this shit? A shield dude where the weak spot is at the back. This guy defeats the entire purpose of Devil May Cry. Yep, real crazy gameplay right here, folks. Annoying as fuck soul eaters hitting you up at random, vanishing into thin air to grab you for the HP drain. All what you can do is shoot at him, that's about it. Blood goils are, how should I put this? Lame! The strat is to shoot them up, petrify them, then melee them to break them. If you end up swiping a sword at them, they will multiply. But the worst ones are these motherfucking fallen angels. They're armored, that shit takes some time to shatter. They phase in and out of the walls, simultaneously throwing the sword at you. That explodes. Not to mention them taking forever to kill. These things are annoying as fuck to fight. The second thing it got wrong is bad platforming. The jump button in DMC3 is great for combat, but precision, well, it don't work out too well. Because of the camera angles, I can barely see some of these beams to grab these orbs. Now we get to the Mission 17 platforming room, where precision falls flat. I could barely judge the distance that I am supposed to jump. More times than not, you'll end up falling down, forcing you to do the whole thing all over again, because of that bad camera, which brings me on to the next point. Third thing DMC3 fumbled were them camera angles. Now this is nitpick territory for me. For the most part, the camera in 3 isn't that bad. It gives clear vision of everything on screen. The problem comes in when the game goes into the Resident Evil corners, when the camera shifts, not letting you see the rest of the level, or losing a few enemies. But Lock-On fixes that problem, even getting around the wall clipping, so yeah. Fourth thing DMC3 got wrong are the rushed final missions. The ending missions in DMC3 feel like padding. I'm talking about missions 16, 17, and 19. We got a janky platforming section with annoying encounters. A mission that has good encounters with one encounter having fun Reaper enemies, but instead you're fighting the mirrors. Seriously, what the fuck is this shit? I thought I'm supposed to be a devil hunter, not a goddamn glassbreaker. That's capped off with the worst pre-ultimate boss before the GOAT, which reminds me. Fifth thing this game got wrong is the Arkham boss. When I first saw this one cutscene of Arkham taking on Sparta's demon form, then jumping Dante directly, I thought I was going to go up against Sparta, using a different moveset against me, sort of like a claymore-wielding Virgil. But oh boy, was I wrong. I got to fight Purple Gelatin Man, attacking me with cum shot attacks, with other strikes that are hard to telegraph. Hey, Virgil drops and you get to team up with him, but here's the bullshit catch. You can't use your style or pop any devil triggers. But that cutscene after the boss of the Sparta Boys teaming up to smoke Arkham is hype as fuck. And the jackpot scene to end it off, chef's kiss. So yeah, Devil May Cry 3 is the one game that manages to take everything great about the first and second game, lore and gameplay wise, giving off a kick-ass story that flows well with the gameplay, making it an unforgettable tale. The combat is simple to pick up and play, but hard to master. It's still a ton of fun for scrubs and pros alike. Finding 5 things right with DMC3 was hard enough, it does way more than just 5. And the 5 things wrong was ridiculously hard without nitpicking. This entry's just too goddamn good. With that out of the way, we come to the end of this video. What were your guys' thoughts on it? And what did Devil May Cry 3 get right and wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and share this video with your buddies. Smash that subscribe button real impact style. At 10,000 subscribers, I'll do a whole ass Dante combo in real life, in full cosplay. Shoot the bell icon with an ebony and ivory bullet to get notified on whenever I upload a brand new Devil May Cry or other action game video. This has been the Devil Joe signing out. Happy Devil May Cry 3 anniversary!
Gonna be busy for a while.
Well, bring it on. I love this. This is what I live for! I'm absolutely crazy about it!